What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Any American with a soul left in their bodies is turning their full attention to the devastation of Hurricane Helene and the pain of their fellow countrymen in Appalachia. Millions are still without power, hundreds of thousands without clean food or water, wireless internet, or any type of cell reception. The bodies continue to be pulled from the mud in the total devastation of these communities as Americans' lives are broken. Communities are wiped out entirely off the map. I mean, look at this. Never coming back, right? The smell of the loss of life, says CNN. Right now is a horrifying time. 25 Floridians lost their lives in this hurricane. I'm from Florida, and we are currently preparing to evacuate for another deadly hurricane that is barreling right towards us. So in these moments, of course, you look for clear-eyed, sound, and confident leadership that instills within you a sense of adults being in charge and in control, which is, of course, this exact moment why Kamala Harris chose to go on the Sex and Blowjobs podcast. Call Her Daddy host Alex Cooper is ripped to shreds for Kamala Harris interview. I'm never watching again. Uh-oh. Fans hit the podcast Call Her Daddy shredded Alex Cooper, this is the host, after she released her surprise interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. Vice President Harris, who is the subject of intense criticism for a lack of interviews, follows up her appearance at an NBA All-Star themed The Smoke. Got it. Okay. The real tough interviews here, with an appearance on Alex Cooper's chat show. The show's Instagram account posted a brief tease of the show, which dropped Sunday morning and was met with hatred from the Daddy Gang, unsubscribing and unfollowed. I am so disappointed, another listener writes. Uh-oh. Call Her Daddy host asked Kamala Harris why she decided to do her vulgar sex podcast, but not substantive interviews. And this is, I think, really instructive here, in case you think that we're slandering this podcast. I don't listen to this podcast. I know very little about this podcast. But the episode previous, the Kamala Harris episode, was called Blowjobs, Hall Passes, and Frat Daddies. Got it? Okay, good. Kamala Harris taking this moment to do all of the very, very serious things. Quite shockingly, actually, Kamala Harris was asked on this podcast, why are you doing this podcast? Like, why won't you just do, like, I don't know, meet the press? Why won't you do actual real interviews? It was kind of a shocking thing to be asked right off the bat, but here we go.
It's like, you don't do too many long form interviews. What made you want to do Call Her Daddy today?
Well, I think you and your listeners have really got this thing right, which is one of the best ways to communicate with people is to be real, you know, and to talk about the things that people really care about. I mean, what I love about what you do is that your voice in your show is really about your listeners. And I think especially now, this is a moment in the country and in life where people really want to know they're seen and heard, and that they're part of a community, that they're not out there alone. And so I'm really glad to be with you.
What the hell was that? What does that even mean? People want to be seen and heard, and that they're not alone, that they're a part of a community. And your show is really about your listeners. Call Her Daddy getting destroyed, by the way, on their promotional posts for this. Trump 2024, women are for Trump. Trump hope next, I hope. Why do you hate Americans? Using your platform for the greater good? Okay. An interview with Trump next, right? Okay, well, when are you interviewing Trump? Trump. Dude, what the F? Call her goodbye. Oh, boy. Not good. Let's go on over to YouTube here. How are the comments doing here on YouTube? Okay, let's see. 741 comments since time of publishing. People in North Carolina are dying right now, and she's on a sex podcast. It was filmed when this disaster struck. WTF? Is this a joke? Like, OMG, thank you for being here and all the suffering for, like, giving each family like $750. Like, OMG. All she does is lie. I am not with her. Unsubscribe. Time to unsubscribe. Kamala taped this instead of helping hurricane victims. I have no words. Remarkable. How much did they pay you for this? Yeah. Did they pay you more than $750? That's exactly right. Everyone's asking, did you get paid? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I can't imagine getting paid for this, but yes, this is what Kamala Harris is doing while the bodies are floating still through North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. All right. So what are some of the interesting things that Kamala Harris says and does in this podcast? Well, you'll be shocked to know that Kamala Harris decided to call herself the president on this podcast.
Put it in our TikTok terms. I have seen girls on the street walk up to men and be like, do you know where a tampon goes? Do you know how many tampons we use? Do you even know how, do you know what a X or Y or Z is of a part of our, and they don't know the answer.
I was the first vice president or president to ever in office go to a reproductive healthcare clinic.
Stunning and brave. Can you get braver than to go to a reproductive center while you're vice president or the president? Why does she say it like that? I think you know. Kamala Harris then goes on to say that she doesn't know a single government law that controls men's bodies. Fact check inbound.
I'm gonna pose this question more to you and the daddy gang, but one of the biggest conversations in this year's election revolves around a woman's body.
Yep.
I want to take a moment and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision.
I know what you're going to ask.
About a man's body. Let's
No.
Is there any law?
No.
There's no laws that have to do with man's body. Oh, okay. How about the Selective Service? Do you know that 1 million American men have died in fields of battle? Fields of battle that our government ordered them to run headlong into? Maybe against their will? Wow. Maybe against their conscience? Who knows? 1 million men, that's a lot. 1 million American men have died at the orders of their government. And Kamala Harris wants to be commander-in-chief. Very interesting. She doesn't know this. That's a law that affects men's bodies when you send them into battle and you send them off to die. Perhaps Kamala should be introduced to the Selective Service, where men are required to sign up and die for their country. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. Kamala Harris just cringing all the way to the top.
Tell the daddy gang.
Yeah.
When people tell you no, when people look at you and doubt you, what does that ignite in you?
So I've been told that many times. And through the course of my career, I've been told, at one point, you're too young. I've been told, oh, nobody like you has ever done that before. Oh, they're not ready for you. Oh, and this is the one that kills me. Oh, it's going to be a lot of hard work, right? As though we don't like hard work. And here's my response. I don't hear no. I don't hear no. And I urge all the daddy gang, don't hear no. Just don't hear it.
Throughout this election.
What if there were like a big time bro podcast and it was like, men should never, ever, ever hear no. Men should never respond when you hear the word no. You should just keep on going. I wonder how fast that podcast would get canceled. I wonder how quickly that would be misconstrued. Interesting. Little reversal there. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, but I don't give an F about Kamala Harris going on the Call Her Daddy podcast. Women and sex and health. When we have states literally underwater, this is what everybody is saying. This is terrible timing. Call Her Daddy released a teaser to promote their interview, and Kamala's getting absolutely destroyed in the comments. Thousands are dying in North Carolina, and what is she doing? Is she going to need an earpiece for this too? Yeah, the women are absolutely coming for Kamala. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just an embarrassment. It's not doing well. The podcast itself is not doing well. Unlike when you release something with President Trump, like a Theo Von interview with President Trump, it does like millions upon millions of views, right? Very quickly. This is getting destroyed, but not as destroyed as the places that have been hit hard by the hurricane, including places like where I live. So it's particularly obnoxious, cruel, and stupid. And I'm sick of America last. I'm sick of America last. We have to have America first. We have to have America first. Ladies and gentlemen, unsubscribe. If you are already subscribed to the Call Her Daddy podcast, I can't take the cringe anymore. Please, Lord, mercifully, dear God, let it end in 30 days. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.